Hello all and welcome to another World in Conflict replay analysis. This is a 5v5 match mode on the map Riviera, which we are flying over currently. It is a beautiful map. Not one of my favorites gameplay wise, but this game was beautiful. And the reason we're getting this cool flyover is because I am using the World in Conflict broadcasting tool, which is not something that I've done before. And in fact, someone was just telling me today that this broadcasting tool exists and it works when I thought it was a defunct piece of software that never actually worked in the first place, but apparently it does work. And I've been playing around with it and it's really cool. So this is the first time I'm using it, so well, I'll try and make use of all the features and make it look cool and make for an entertaining match here using the broadcasting tool. And this is an entertaining match. It's not going to need too much help from my broadcasting skills to be entertaining because we some cool things happened on this one. Most importantly, Wally, the support player on NATO, who was on my team actually, I was his armor player. I was lucky enough to be his armor player in this game. Wally scored 3,000 points. And that is not something you normally see in a 5v5 match mode. That's fairly unusual. Normally match modes you top out between 2,400, 2,600 points, something like that. So it's unusual to see that 3K number going up on the scoreboard for a 5v5 match mode on Riviera. So Wally had just a really fantastic game here. So I chose this replay to highlight that, and it was a nice match, and we had a good time. We also got some new players involved in this one, and that's great. Each team had a couple new guys that are learning match modes and doing awesome, and we're really building out the skill base of the WiC community and having a blast doing it. So altogether, this was a very successful match, and I'm glad to be sharing it with you all. So let me go ahead and start skipping through a little bit here to get to when the gameplay actually starts. You know, those long wait times at the beginning of match modes tend to be this way, but so here we go. This is going to be a pretty standard 5v5 format in terms of role selection. We're going to go double air with one meds player, and that's what the other team is going to go to. So that's about how it rolls in a lot of 5v5s. It's almost a boring meta, some would say, but it really is the meta. You don't have a ton of options. You could go double heavy air, but then the other team will just bring out meds, and you have to go meds anyway. You could go double something on the ground like Inf, but on Riviera maybe that's not such a good idea, as there really that much for Inf to do. Other maps it might work better, but you can't really beat the mobile killing power of two air units flying around. So there's some other strats, but lots of 5v5s tend to fall into this double air with one meds player. And you can see the meds player there, and I'll make use of my nifty tool here to draw on the map to show you guys where that mid-air player is. So NATO has done here, we did what we were supposed to do. We capped up all the points in our back, the points that we're supposed to hold. Riviera is an interesting map because when you're at equilibrium here with even teams, both teams hold 6 command points really. So there's not a base arrow advantage for either team. You can actually see up here on the top, you can see the arrows that each team has going in their direction. Both have 6, so it's not pushing the down bar one way or another. That in my opinion sometimes causes Riviera to get stagnant. It doesn't move fast like Seaside and Hometown do, which are the other two most popular Clan War and match mode maps. Those maps tend to have at least one arrow going someplace all the time. So you get some more dynamic matches. This one, we're actually gonna see a lot of pushing on this one. So maybe this match will prove me wrong about this map. I do think it had something to do with kind of the imbalance on the teams, but regardless, we do make some interesting pushes, and the other team makes some interesting pushes. I'm going to do just a bit more hardcore analysis here, then I'm just going to start having fun with the broadcast tool. So, just to show you guys, NATO has windmill held, which is extremely important to hold. I think the team that holds windmill wins the game. There's some competing schools of thought that say if you go for the town over here, this will also be a reasonable strat. But I don't know. I think that tends to fall apart eventually because NATO just has too many ways to get back into it and take that. They got woods cover, they got building cover. So as USSR, you really can't hold that town for a while. Whereas with windmill, in the event that these tanks come up here and push into windmill and capture that, then they can shoot down on the NATO players coming up to try and cap it again, and it becomes very difficult for NATO to recap it. They usually have to use some TA or heavy air power to dislodge that. It's hard even for the armor players to shoot up the hill. So the armor players, if the armor players down here and they're trying to shoot up there, it can be a little difficult to get the AAs that are hiding just over the crest. So USSR, in my opinion, really needs to always try and focus on taking windmill. And that is what this USSR team that we're looking at will end up doing here. And NATO is well aware that they're going to try and do that. You see, we have a heavy tank there, we have AA, med air is loitering to help us, we got 2 light tanks, and heavy air is also helping out. So we're well aware that that is going to be a major battleground. We can see the rest of the kind of meta strat for Riviera shaping up here. We got light tanks trying to look for opportunities to contest Mansion where it won't be recapped quickly. It's very hard for NATO to skip across and get to that other point and capture Mansion outright, but it's pretty easy for NATO to contest it at the very least and get some aero advantage on the enemy. You also got NATO having infantry in the forest there, regs to try and take shots at the helicopters and deny that area for the enemy inf. So that's going to be important. You got friendly defensive drops in town to keep that in good working order. And this is setting up nicely to be kind of a pretty standard Riviera match. There's not a lot that's going to be unusual about this one. We got Wally dropping in his jeeps here, and now commence me having fun with the broadcast tool. We got an airstrike coming in, and this is going to be a nasty airstrike that kills a lot of stuff on the back of Mansion. So we're looking at that Mansion decap to try and contest, and that's why that airstrike came down. Unfortunately, I think we're still not going to be able to decap that right now, but we got an enemy airstrike coming in, USSR airstrike to damage us at windmill, and there's 2 of them, and that's problematic for us. We had big forts there. Air-to-air strike coming in, not going to hit anything, just misses the friendly air. So the friendly air is doing their best to fend off that push at windmill. USSR is giving it a real tough go of it to get windmill, as they should be. This tank is moving up. You can see this tank moving up here with the AA to try and shoot this AA that's hiding in the smoke. That AA smokes up. We lose vision. They got some super speedy light tanks that are going to take windmill, and they got the cap, which is really my failing as the armor player. I should have fallen back sooner to get that deny on the cap, but that heavy tank gets killed anyway, unfortunately. So Wally comes in and chases him out, but luckily I have the heavy tank coming in here to reinforce that section. And so this is what I didn't want to happen, right? This is the scary part of us having to push up the hill, which isn't that bad right now because there's just 1 heavy tank up there, no forts, but this is something that we wanted to avoid. us having to go retake this space. I'm doing defensive drops in the forest here, which is going to be helpful to keep the enemy from watching us in the backfield. WallE is microing those choppers out of the area. You can see the enemy has drops coming down here as well, and our air is going to have to spend some time clearing those out. The friendly inf player has an excursion going on up here, which is good. That's one of the points up there at Firebase that NATO can contest a little bit to get some arrows going their way. There's enough forest that the inf can somewhat keep it capped, or decapped at least, for a good amount of time, enough to make it worth the TA investment. So we're working on killing these drops here.
You need reinforcements? We are ready.
And there's a heavy arty barrage coming in, which is gonna hurt a bit.
Affirmative, the Legion will drop in at the coordinates. Walnut out.
But we really kind of have reached an equilibrium here. I don't think USSR has a lot of ability right now to contest Windmill, and NATO is having trouble really getting anything going up there to keep it capped, keep it comfortably capped, and then because what NATO wants to start doing is NATO wants to build up their base of operations here so that they can shoot down here and shoot at farm and anything coming up. What the enemy team will have to do is they'll have to come up this way to keep pushing. They won't be able to just run up against the fire once we have that set up, but we'll see that as it happens if they try pushing again. We do need to get some forts up at Windmill. I think it's a micro failing that we don't have anything on there right now. Okay, we got a light tank getting on there to fort. That's going to be helpful to us. Lots of the TA being used right now is airborne inf, so there's not a lot of offensive TA going down, so I can't exactly show you guys the broadcasting tool, but we do have a carpet bomb about to come in. So you can't follow the plane with the carpet bomb, but you guys are going to get a good view of this one. It is going to be a gnarly carpet bomb. The plane's going to come in from your left, so enjoy. But you know what? I'll do it in slow-mo. We're going in slow-mo for this carpet bombing. Despicable. Despicable. That really worked out. I mean, that's going to set USSR back. It didn't kill like a billion things, but it definitely killed enough of their base of operations, knocked some forts out. That is going to be that's going to be helpful to NATO. It's really letting them. It's really letting us, I should say, get our base of operations set up here. Because now, what I was saying before is happening. Those heavy tanks are shooting down this way. We're getting forts up that are now getting artied. So we'll see how we weather that arty. Let's check in with the ground units here. Actually, no, let's check in with this air-to-air strike from WallE that's coming in. Let's see if WallE hits his mark. He's gonna miss. But the reason he put that down was a good reason. He's watching that cap there at Mansion, which is something that we needed. That gives us some arrows. We got arrows now. This is good news for us. So WallE did a great job there, microing that scout. But was there two scouts there? I could have sworn he just killed the scout, but there may have been two scouts. So he's going to lose that AA, but force the air to retreat. So another good engagement by WallE. We have some cluster bombs hitting the ground there that were meant to kill the jeeps. Missed them. Mansion is going to get recapped here by USSR. So that arrow advantage for NATO did not last too long. We got an enemy tank buster coming in. Oh, that killed a little bit more than you might have hoped it was going to kill. Friendly tank busters coming in up at the fire base. So this is going to be nice. This is going to be an effort to cap and clear and cap this fire base.
We can deliver your units at your request.
And we'll see how that little operation plays out. We got medium choppers going up there to deal with it.
I'm armed
And look,
inbound.
so we can see from the broadcast tool that there's actually an aerial recon to find those in.
The enemy
Tank
defeated
buster
your
coming
unit.
in to kill more forts up there. We really want that point. We would like to get firebase, right? That'll give us some more arrows. We got airborne infantry coming down at that point, so we'll see how that plays out. We're kind of playing the long game up there.
Orders received. I will intercept.
Enemy napalm coming in to deal with that. Didn't kill anybody. I guess they just wanted to deforest the area. Another air-to-air strike from Wally. Let's see what it hits. Oh! Got him!
That unit is a casualty.
Wally's a master air-to-air
Reinforcements are
placer.
underway.
We're dropping in some airborne for you. Check out.
We got some major arrows going here for, well, I wouldn't say major. We just got some arrows going because we got Mansion decapped, and that is certainly helpful. Air is going to finish him off there. That light tank's going to try and keep him off, but the heavy tank is shooting him up. That light tank is dead now. So let's see how much longer we can keep Mansion decapped and keep that arrow advantage. Windmill is being attacked by infantry, but it is relatively safe right now. We need to get some more forts up. There's a heavy tank just patrolling, and that's a veteran heavy tank. That's a good heavy tank to have. Airborne transports coming down at the fire base. There's going to be a capping operation done here. NATO does get the cap. They're gonna have to. That's me. We're gonna have to pull off with the airbornes. I got one of the jeeps, but I'm not gonna get the other one. Light arty's here to kill that. There's probably a reg or something in there. We don't want to deal with that, so we're just gonna use the light arty to get rid of it. Yeah, there's the reg. Lots of airborne infantry is being used, so we just passed halftime here. So let me bring up the score sheet to take a look at how we're doing at the half. So NATO's got a slight advantage on the Donbar, 55 to 45, and they do have more perimeter points capped. So NATO has a 6-4 advantage right now. That's because Mansion is contested. So we'll see how long we can keep that Mansion contest lasting. And of course, NATO did just have a play at Firebase, which we'll see how that operation continues. The NATO has a couple veterans on the field, which I think that means lieutenant or captain and above in terms of units. Well, actually, no, that can't be, because I can, right here from this screen, see at least 3 captains on the field, so I'm not sure if that stat is working in the broadcast tool, but NATO's got a 38 to 37 TAs used, and that's the strikes, I believe. That's not like they've only used 38 TA, of course, so that's 38 TA strikes have been called in for NATO and 37 for USSR. And NATO has used 22 airborne imps, whereas USSR has only used 10, which is interesting. I wonder what's going on over there, that they are being outdropped 2 to 1. USSR, however, does have more kills than NATO. So, with that halftime report, we'll carry on. Looks like the Mansion is going to be capped here shortly. Oh, he's falling back. He got scared. So, okay, let's see what this tank buster does. We got a tank buster coming in to hit that heavy tank. Is he going to come up and get it? Is he going to try and cap? He's not, and the tank buster's going to miss. Interesting.
That unit is a casualty.
We still got Mansion decapped, which is giving us an advantage on the Donbar. USSR eventually has to stop the bleeding. We've got Windmill on lockdown. There's a general tank. You'll love to see that general tank. Let's follow this general tank around for a little bit. He's just chilling. He's just shooting some forts, you know, as general tanks do. Oh, he's shooting so fast. We're not in fast forward, folks. That's just their reload time. That's the reload time of the general heavy tank. Goodness. So I think we have some more TA coming in. WallE's got a heavy air support here that's going to support this cap. Oh no, there's some napalm strikes coming down. Oh my gosh, this force is being annihilated.
Reinforcements
More
are ready.
napalm.
Just give the order.
This is outrageous. A napalm there. A napalm here. What were we thinking? Let's count. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 napalm strikes within like 10 seconds.
Acknowledged. Mission received. Heading for
What
the
was going on
target
there? I guess
The
we just
enemy
decided
is
we were done
fighting
with
your
Enf, huh?
I've taken off with napalm load.
You're not going to believe this. There's another napalm strike coming in. And this is going to take care of that forest. This is going to take care of that forest that is a great sniper
Reinforcements are on the
location
way.
for
Unit
USSR.
defeated.
Here comes the plane. I don't think there's anything in there, but Wally probably just didn't want to deal with it anymore. Back to equilibrium now that Mansion has been recapped. Doesn't look like I'm armored and I don't have any light tanks or anything there to contest, but I am bringing some up from spawn. We can see those guys coming up from spawn here. Oh, we just had an air-to-air over the over the jeeps. So WallE's gonna have to move those jeeps. They must have vision somewhere in the backfield.
We can bring you reinforcements now.
Friendlies are dropping Enf back there. That's me, I believe, to get some sight on that. Oh, Tank Buster knocks out. I think was that a ranked tank at town? I wonder if we're gonna see a town push here, and we are. Yes, indeed we are. The enemy has begun their town push, so they have decided to abandon the windmill. It looks like, and now they're shifting to this town push. Which, as I said in the beginning, I think I said in the beginning, I've done a couple takes of this because I keep messing up with the broadcast tool, but it's very difficult for USSR to decap this for long. Because look, I mean, I just had that airborne there, ready to hop out immediately and recap it. So that decap did not last for very long at all. Westtown, well, now they've decapped it again. Are they going to get a cap on it here? We'll see. I got a direct arty coming in. Hit it, hit it, hit it. They got the cap. AA's dead, though. They're not going to hold that cap for long. In fact, I think I'm just going to solo cap it here. Or am I going to let Wally get it? Oh, we got a little battle here. So Spirit Gun's got to be there. Wally's got to be there. I'm hopping off for a second and getting back on. So all the new players watching this match, take note of that. You know, I went really out of my way to make sure these guys got on the cap down here. I took this inf and I ran him off the point for a second, and I ran him right back. So those two guys could stack on the other point, and that's that little move I did there. That generated us an extra 5 TA, right? That means one extra player had 5 TA compared to what it would have been. So, not to toot my own horn, that's that's a good idea to work with your teammates like that. Tank Buster coming in here to kill those jeeps that just came in. Move your jeeps around, folks, when you drop them, because people will see the animation coming down and try and put a Tank Buster down. I've got an airstrike here. It's going to take a captain tank. That hurts for USSR. That's going to be important for the capping of Mansion. We've got another air-to-air from Wally coming in. Let's see what he gets. Just misses the medium air player. Mansion is decapped right now. Are we gonna keep it decapped? We'll see. Where's this Tank Buster coming down? This Tank Buster is gonna be at farm, so the farm push has begun. That initial farm push there. You know what? Actually, I had that decapped. I was using the broadcast tool to look around, so I didn't notice, but I believe we did have that decapped, and that heavy tank denying the decap for some time, if I remember from the match actually happening. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to keep that decapped, because we got 4 minutes left, and we want to keep some massive arrows going on the board. Look, the enemy team only has Firebase capped right now. We're going to cap farm. Got this heavy air support here to protect us that is not going to be really needed, I don't think. I don't think it's going to hit anything, but Wally's got an air-to-air strike coming in. Let's see what it gets. Ooh! I think that got all 3. I think that got 3 choppers. Brutal. Wally is a sniper, man. So we got another heavy arty barrage coming down here to support the farm capture. In fact, we're even trying to get forts up at farm. I'm trying to get forts up there. That's problematic for USSR to say the least.
We can deliver
We
your
got
units at your
Copy on the
request.
target coordinates.
this operation happening up here to capture
Shadow here. Yeah, strike is on the way.
Firebase,
Over.
which
Closing in on
is
the designated strike
maybe
zone.
going to be successful.
Snipping
But
in
either
3
way, it's
seconds.
going to force the enemy to keep
Your
an eye
unit
on it,
was
right?
destroyed.
You know, it's going to force the air to go over there and check things out,
We're armed and
force the
inbound.
infantry player to micro
Scope
there.
out. We're dropping
So
in
that's
some
not
air.
ideal for
Units
USSR
remaining.
that push is continuing to happen.
Dividing
We're going to
intel.
recap
Position received.
farm
19
here.
down. Over.
Wally has
Anyone with
another
vehicles
air-to-air
with
strike
cluster
coming in.
ordnance, stay clear. Over.
Let's see what he
Unit
gets.
defeated.
Oh no. Oh, not all the meds. Not all of them. Oh! Goodness. He's a madman. We got some transports coming in. I don't like this. I don't like those transport drops, but I mean, USSR was in a tough spot, so what are they going to do? But I mean, those were clearly going to die quickly.
The enemy defeated
Windmill
your unit.
was briefly decapped, but it looks like NATO is going to cap it right back up. Wally and Spirit Gun are going to have the cap pretty
Your
quickly.
units are at the coordinates now.
The enemy may be getting farm back here for a moment. There's this operation is coming to fruition here, so there must be a sniper here because I remember this. Oh yeah, there's like 2 snipers. So there's clearly a couple snipers here
Unit standing by
that
for delivery.
shot up the
Great job. We will
airborne
soon
that
be
I was
back.
running over to cap. So nice little sniper placement there.
I will engage the
Stops
hostile
a cap.
helicopters now. Over.
You know, maybe I retract that because while that stopped that one
Acknowledged.
cap,
We're
I think
taking
that's
off
maybe
now.
all the snipers did. I mean, you know, those snipers were probably shooting down because if the snipers were located there, then that sniper spot can shoot fairly far if you put it in the right spot. So
Affirmative. Heading for the
it's
strike
interesting
zone.
that there were
I
2
roll
of them.
out.
Your new
So we're getting
units have
cluster
arrived
bombed
at the
here
drop zone.
at town, and they're also dropping in. They might be trying to do a little more of a push there, but they got a minute left, and they got to move the down bar pretty far. There's not a lot they can do. Let's see what other TAs are coming in. Not a lot of TAs down right now. There is a napalm strike coming in. It's a
1
napalm
minute
strike from
remaining.
Spirit Gun. Let's see what Spirit
Need
Gun
reinforcements? We
deciding
are
to
ready.
do to die. Ah, sniper. Lieutenant Sniper. Dead to napalm. I think that's worth the ATA. Especially because you can't put a sniper there again. I guess you could, but just for that cover.
Your unit was destroyed.
Delivering a transport for you now.
Spirit's got
Heading for the coordinates. Weapons are
his
hot.
sniper spot
Guys
all
down.
scoped out here. Like this, it's a great sniper spot.
Firing mortars. The barrage will reach you soon.
You have
Hold
incoming
down.
units. Be ready for them.
If the bunker gets destroyed, you can always just put the sniper right next to it. So.
That unit is equipped.
Oh, another air-to-air. I just caught the tail end of it, but Wally got somebody with another air-to-air. That was an enemy air-to-air that just came in. Ponter's got an air-to-air coming in here to end the match. Let's see what Ponter does with this air-to-air. He's gonna get some meds. They flared out of it. That's all, folks. What a great match by Wally. Game ends with 4 seconds left on the clock. You don't see this too often. 3,000 points, that is really something. I had a good time playing with him. When you're an armor player and you play with a support player, that is always something that is enjoyable for armor players out there. This was fun doing this replay analysis. I know I didn't do a ton of hard analysis on it while I was messing around with the broadcasting tool controls, but you know, I think this is a fun little tool that could spice up some content for us as we continue to have these match mode days. Maybe we should get someone that's more talented than me at talking through the games and shoutcasting these games to get in the booth, and we'll try and use the broadcast tool, and I can be the old veteran that's retired, and the shoutcaster can go to me and I'll say, well, you know, they really should have capped this faster here, and I'll do some of that kind of analysis while the other guy talks through it in a proper play-by-play that I'm just not capable of doing. But this is a pretty cool tool. Hopefully we can use it some more in live matches. And I hope you guys enjoyed this 5v5 replay analysis. And once again, congratulations to Wally on a fantastic game at support.